With the S&P 500 down about 7% and the NASDAQ 100 down about 10% from their February 19th, 2025 all-time highs, a lot of people are asking themselves right now, what do I do? And here's what I'm looking at. I think there's a silver lining here for two reasons in the short to immediate term. Number one, of course, the short-term, immediate-term underlying stock market fear is really fearful, okay? It is pretty much at max fear. Sure, it could get a little more fearful, but pretty much max fear. Not that I just look at the CNN Fear and Greed Index, but look at it, down to 17 today. It rarely gets much lower than this. So in other words, when you stretch out that rubber band like that, as far as it stretches to the side of fearfulness, what does it naturally want to do? It naturally wants to snap back. So that's number one. Number two is the positive divergence between the underlying data from when we had the end of the correction in January until where we are today. And that just is a fancy way for saying that the underlying data right now anyway has come down less, not as far as the underlying data came down in January. So I think that is potentially a good signal for the shorter term to immediate term. It is possible that sometime in the next few days, maybe even a week from now, maybe with a little more patience, that stocks start to rise and come up again. Now, with that said, we can, as I have shared with you for quite a while now, a new bear market could start anywhere between today and early June. Maybe it even already started, right? I can be wrong. With that said, right? Because this is all if, I can't tell the future. If we can get back prices to come up again, and I make no guarantees, I don't know if prices can get back up to all-time highs again. I think it is possible that the S&P 500 and NASDAQ 100 could make up half of the losses that we've seen over the last not quite 2.5 weeks. If everything kind of else stays the same, meaning my medium-term, longer-term underlying data remains weak, if we can claw back some of those gains that we've lost over the last 2 weeks here, I very well could begin to start to sell large chunks of the positions that I've held for a year and a half, because I want to start taking that money off the table. I don't want to risk it too much this close to the beginning of the next bear market, and maybe the next bear market already started. What do you think? Are you a full-on buyer here because we do have so much short-term fear? Or, and not that you can't do both, or if we could make up some of the losses that we've seen over the last 2 weeks, would you start to sell out like I could? This is not investment advice, and if you don't know me, I'm John Crocker, professional investor, proud American, cigar lover, and owner of Crocker Capital, LLC. Specifically on the NASDAQ 100, QQQ, as of 2:38 this afternoon Eastern Time, making an unconfirmed breakdown below about the $491 a share level. If it confirms the breakdown tomorrow, that's not good, and I may have to increase my short positions, which I get it. The timing is horrible to do that. But if we confirm the breakdown tomorrow, Qs could go down anywhere to about 481 to 475, and I'm not willing to deal with that. So if we confirm lower tomorrow, yeah, I get it. It's a crappy time to do it, but I could add to my hedged positions, which, full disclosure, right now I own very little of. Remember, a couple days ago, I happily sold some of those. If we can come up from here, obviously that's short-term, immediate-term good news. As of about 2:30 this afternoon, West Texas Intermediate crude oil pretty much flat on the day. That's fine with me. I'm sitting on those profits that I made when I bought crude oil yesterday. I didn't even enter that trade until yesterday, okay? Bitcoin as of 2:34 in the afternoon, down some, that's okay. I still hold the position that I bought, sometime early last week or so, going long on Bitcoin, still doing very well with that. Not yet a seller of Bitcoin, but if it looks like we could really break down after we are hitting our head here on this $90,400 per coin level, sure, I could get out, little patience.